while we're recording, is everybody okay with recording this and it'll be on a public thing? Now everybody do thumbs up and stuff. There you go. Okay, good. All right. To begin today's session, class, I thought I would share with you a little bit. Some people already know this. Please don't blurt it out. Here it is. It's just something to keep in mind as you're doing your work. If you teach a werewolf meditation, he becomes a werewolf. You have to think about it a little bit. A werewolf. All right, that's enough. I won't do it anymore. So today's topic, and we went through this a second ago, is if we're going to be doing these APGs all over the world and all over everywhere, then one of the things we want to do is we want a lot of people to take advantage, which means we want them to call us. We want the parents to call us. We want the IOP groups to call us. We want the residential programs to call us. We want lots and lots of people to call us and say, how come you're having so much success and we're having so little? You know, either personally or as an organization. We want them to call us. Well, that means getting the message out there, getting it out. So always my history has been taken up with getting the message out in ways that were short of technology. We had technology. We had like a telephone, you know, we had television. I think that's all the technology we had. That was it. And for 25 years, and then computers came along, but still they weren't set up. There was no social media or anything like that. So it was just a coordinator tool. Now we have a whole different world. Social media has made everybody a TV star. We got TikTok and Kaylin's gonna laugh at this. We got hashtag this, hashtag that. They were all laughing at me yesterday in the staff in the board meeting because I was hashtagging everything, telling everybody happy. Because let me tell you why. I don't understand hashtag. I don't get it. But apparently it is powerful. Well, you need to listen in, Michael, then, because this is a big deal.
I'm glad you said it. I don't get it. I've tried.
Well, other people do. And one of those people is joining us today. And she's driving right now with her coffee in her hand. And her name is hashtag Kaylin Walterno. Kaylin, you're not where you can talk right now, are you?
No, I am. I'm pulling into my parking lot at work. I'm at a red light, so we're okay. But there's so much pressure mounting right now. And I just was simply explaining what a hashtag was yesterday, and now all of a sudden I'm an expert. So
yes, she's an expert because she does understand it. Notice everybody else like, what? I think probably there's some others who do understand it, and I'm going to ask them to join in also, the ones who are smiling and all those kind of things already, because I already know y'all know something about this. But go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like there's much more qualified. Let me first come with a disclosure, and that is that I am born in the generation, I'm born in 1980, so that is the generation that was right in between no technology and all the technology. So I am not technology savvy. I've picked up a couple tricks from my 12-year-old son and some other people that I'm around, but nothing serious. APG Las Vegas has a social media marketing position in our organization, and I learned a lot from him as well. So anyway, hashtag is, if you don't know what a hashtag is, it's simply a way to link up this, and this is my perception of it. It's simply a way to link up different people with, that normally wouldn't connect, right? So I was explaining yesterday that if one person has a hashtag Rat Pack, right? Like APG posts a picture of all of our kids going out to the strip and says hashtag Rat Pack. And then somebody in India who has a pack of rats hashtags Rat Pack. We're all going to show up in the same, there's a chance for us all to show up on the same feed if somebody searches Rat Pack. So it's just another way to, I don't know, I'm getting all nervous because I feel like I'm on the spot, but like, it's just another way to promote, to promote and be able to be seen in arenas that normally wouldn't connect, right? Like that's what I was trying to explain yesterday.
Okay.
But again, I'm not an expert, so.
No, it's okay, and don't feel a lot of pressure. All right, because when I said I was going to put you on the spot yesterday, when I said that, when I warned you, you know what I mean? Don't you remember that? Anyway,
Yes.
When I said that, I actually envisioned this session having a lot of input from different people, and I would like to see, as a goal for this session, I set that each one of us would walk away with a clear idea of something new to do for our program to reach more people using social media. Right now, so everybody's at a little different place on what you understand and what you know, etc. I chose, and the reason why I jumped on the hashtag thing is that's something I don't understand. And I know if I could get on top of that the things that I do post, I could make them more effective and maybe reach some other people. Maybe, I don't know. That's my thinking anyway on this. So first question is, here's what Lifeway does, and it doesn't do it very much, and that is not a very good idea either, by the way, but it's just the way Lifeway's a little unusual because it's got an old guy running it. You know, he's goofy. But when I do post something, which is fairly rare, a lot more rare than it should be, when I do post something, what will happen is I just post it on Facebook, you know, hey, family meeting was great, cool, whoopee, whoopee, you know, and I just post it, and that's it. I know there's a lot more that could be done with that. I know that the Lifeway website could be posting its own thing. I don't even know, I don't even keep up with the Facebook page, much less I know that I could be doing, you know, because I tell such great jokes, I could be doing TikTok, you know, something or another. Who knows? You know, no, I shouldn't do that. Okay.
You'll have to learn stupid dances.
I probably know a few. So I'm just saying there's so much to be done. Listen, I got people in the group who sing and play the guitar, and they could be doing songs and stuff like that together. In fact, they're talking about it some in the recovery group, doing some of those kind of things. I got old guys who like to go out and golf, you know, and they could do weird junk on the golf course and share. But there's an ethical issue. You've got to be careful with your clients. You can't use your clients to spread. So that's one of the other issues in using this stuff. So I wanted to hear some different ideas, and I hope everybody walks away with something new to do, including me. So what could I do, or what could we do? And I'd like to hear what each one of you guys are doing too. Nancy, are y'all doing very much on reaching out with media, with tech?
We do a lot on social media. We actually have, as an organization, we've got two people in the business development part, and then we also contract with someone who does SEO, which is search engine optimization. It makes, when you put things in Google, it makes you come up first.
Yeah, that I know that part.
Yeah,
that's something I know.
So with social media, our main business, thanks, Michael. With social media, the main business page shares a ton of what is basically memes, mental health support. And so that is, you know, we're not so much on our business page when we share things, talking about services that we offer or anything like that. You know, we're really just working to kind of combat the stigma of mental health, increase education, increase awareness, normalize a lot of depressive symptoms. We've put a bunch of stuff out about like, you know, the pandemic and things are hard. And the I don't think that we utilize hashtags very much. I think that that has to do with the age of those of us who post things. We are also a little bit behind in that department. We're good with, we know how to use Facebook, but the hashtags are a bit much. One thing that I would love to see, and I use this for my wedding. So people create essentially a hashtag for wedding photos, and then any of your guests who take, you let them know what it is, you like put it on a sign, and then they put that hashtag when they post the photos, and then you can just go on Facebook and search that hashtag, and it will show you this list of all of the photos that people took at your wedding and use that hashtag. And so one thing that I'm thinking about as it relates to kind of maybe the social event portion of the APG, you know, when people take pictures or post about what they're going to be doing or the event that they did, you know, you can do hashtag whatever APG. And then, so for example, I wonder what I would find if I went onto Facebook right now and searched hashtag APG.
Can anybody do that? See what happens. I don't even know how to do it.
I can tell you
Can I screen
when,
share and show you what popped up?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
here, let me
sure.
enable you here. Okay, made you co-host.
It says I'm disabled.
I just.
Oh, wait, now it's letting me. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
It just took a second.
You're just too fast, man. You need to slow down here.
So let me see if I can make this bigger. Well, it won't go bigger. There it goes. So I just put in hashtag APG, and here's what it says. 3,000 people are posting about this.
Uh-huh.
There's this guy. I'm not sure what he's doing. New Jersey. I don't know what that is.
This is some other kind of APG thing. It's what it is.
Slugger, baseball.
Stand for something else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that it stands for American Plumbers something, or the Association of American Plumbers.
There's a guy with a gun. So yeah, we may need a better hashtag than APG.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what we need to know, you know?
Game.
Yeah.
A lot of baseball.
Well, and I think too, I just want to touch on this as well as far as a hashtag, like what creating our own hashtag across the board was something that came up in yesterday's board meeting, like finding some sort of universal hashtags, a list of them that we're all putting on our posts no matter what, right? So we're sharing, you know, but it's also utilizing other organizations' hashtags. So like there's very general hashtags, like one that I do a lot is hashtag we do recover, right? So if you go under hashtag we do recover, there's like 100 or 1 million posts or something like that. So in that we do recover community, which is more of a recovery based community, you're going to get other random stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with recovery from mental health or substance use disorder or anything like that. But John, you had touched on it yesterday, like instead of saying, you know, knowing that we have APG is showing up for the American Plumbers Association or something, then we need to be hashtagging like, you know, alternative peer group programs, I think is what you said, right, John?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there are, I just looked, there are a good number of hashtags that under hashtag alternative peer group that are what we're looking for.
Really?
Not like a whole bunch, but Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to disable Michael. Thank God. And and I'm going to, can you, withdraw co-host permission? And Nancy, can you share from where you are if I enable you?
I think so.
Okay, I just made it. It'll take a second for it to take.
You are co-host now.
You are now the co-host.
All right.
Skywalker.
I
Oh
think
yeah. Okay. There we go.
so. Oh, I don't know how to. Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there's that, and then this is a Narcan training one. And you see people use people typically if you're using hashtags, you're using a lot of them. And so that We Do Recover one, I've seen, We Do Recover coupled with One Day at a Time, coupled with all sorts of traditional 12-step nomenclature.
All right. So I'm sorry.
So this is ours. This is a lot of this stuff is ours from Vegas, like Tin High, APG, Narcan trainings. That's all us.
Yeah,
cool.
I saw that. I saw.
So is y'all.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we did Overdose Awareness Day, and like we're pretty consistent about hashtagging alternative peer group and alternative peer group Las Vegas. We do recover. We recover out loud. All of those things. You're gonna see on any of those platforms. You're gonna see our stuff for sure, which is really cool to see.
So can you tell who all has used a hashtag and has seen your stuff?
I think that if you have your settings a certain way, like if you're a business page or a specific group page, that it will tell you number of seen, but I think you have to post in a specific way to get that data.
Okay. Is the Kaylin, is this picture of the guys in front of the tree, is that y'all's?
I don't know. That's Jack's APG, which I've never heard of them before. Team Recovery Solutions? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no.
I was just going to ask if, so do you see how they have the, it was pretty blurry in the picture, the group picture?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, and all the rest of them, they're turned away and looking away and stuff, so you can't make out any actual. What we did on photographs, in the little bit that we did in the past, we would get permission, to use photographs and stuff. But even that is lately has come into question anyway, because you don't want to, promote off of other people, that kind of thing. The hard part is when people are doing well, they want to tell folks, and you want folks to know. That's North Carolina there, the West, the Wake group.
One thing that I have had in the past with similar groups is there's like a thing that you sign as you join the group that says I do or I don't allow my photo to be used.
Yeah.
And then, and like similar with any release, people can revoke that at any time. And then you just have to make sure that whoever's doing your posting has access to that permissions list.
Right. So let's keeping all this in mind, let's focus a little bit in what we're talking about here. So again, the idea is for us to get calls from families that need help and calls from people who get calls from families who need help. All right. So given these tools are out there, and there probably is more than hashtags. You mentioned memes. I'm not real sure. I'm not real up to speed on meme either. I'm familiar with the term. I've seen it, but I don't really. You can't say I can talk about using it. I may even be using it and not know it. But I have a feeling that some of that. But the hashtag process, does that, what are the chances that the way it's being done right now of it reaching those people that we want to call, you know, our focus group, our target group, for lack of a better word? And is there anything we can do to make that more likely?
I think that it depends on what the population that you're looking to reach is. And so you wouldn't want to go on Instagram and do a bunch of Instagram campaigns for people that are not like millennials or younger. You wouldn't want to go on TikTok and advertise and spend your time doing that for that population. But I think that there is information, like demographic information, about how to reach certain audiences. Other people might know more about that. I'm very pathetic as an excuse for a millennial. I'm not tech savvy enough, but I know a little bit. So that's my take on it.
And
And
posting certain different times of the day, you can reach different people. That's important to keep in mind. Like when they're on lunch break or just getting out of work or just times like you're normally on your phone.
I'd also say that like with the hashtags that you use, the person would have to like click on that hashtag in order to stumble upon your post. So if they're not looking to be in recovery, they're probably not going to just stumble on to recovery related posts or APG posts. They'd have to actually be actively seeking that out, and that might not be the major audience that we're talking about. If we're talking about like caregivers or loved ones of people who would benefit from APGs.
Which turns to you, Robin. Thinking about families, all right? Thinking about
Well, let
families.
me tell you what I've done, because I
All
do have a private practice. I created a business, and my kids were the ones that told me how to use the hashtags. And they told me, you know, it's really good for getting the awareness out on a broader scale. So every time that I post a meme or something, I'll add my business name, like hashtag my business name, and then hashtag family recovery coaching, in the hopes that if somebody's searching for that, they'll stumble upon it. Or if they're in my post and they want to learn more, they can click on it and learn more. I don't know how that works because I don't do it. My kids do. They'll sit there and click on all these little hashtags, and it just leads you down a rabbit trail, right? It gets really addictive. So I don't know. I'm doing that, but yeah,
Well,
what I'm finding is,
let me ask you
yeah.
a question about the target group itself, all right?
Mhm.
Because you're real in touch with them and everything. And anybody else who wants to join in, don't hesitate. Do you have an idea of what part of technology would best address a parent in distress?
I don't think it's not Instagram. Facebook, if they happen to be on there looking for help, but really to me, you need to address marketing from all different points of view. And that's a good place to get out the, you know, erasing the stigma and connecting with other professional groups like the addiction networking professionals. That's one group that I'm very active with because they do a lot of referring. And so if you have a presence on Facebook and then you're sharing on that, they're more than likely going to listen to you when you ask questions. Or I'm always on there saying, hey, is there someone who takes this insurance in this city because I have someone I need to send a treatment? You know, they're very active. And I find that's the hardest part for me, is networking with, you know, those professionals that I would normally want to go on campus and see their treatment center and, you know, network in person. We can't do that. So hopefully there's business development people that are having Zoom meetings to do tours or whatever. But that would be a good way. You want to connect on a personal level to explain your services. I don't think Facebook
Tell the name of that group that you mentioned. What was the
the
group?
addiction networking professionals on Facebook. It's big. That
I
one's
think
helpful.
that's a really good strategy too. I've seen a lot of families use, and I can't remember the group, but it's a New Hampshire specific group for young people that have 504s and IEPs, like that have special education needs. And so it's parents of those people, so that parents like trade tips with each other and post about different things that are happening in New Hampshire or how they were able to get certain needs met. But also, if you're a person that like joins that group and has your own business or organization or service to advertise, that's a better way of getting it out to an audience of people who are likely to utilize or refer people to what you have to offer.
Do any of y'all know? All right, so this addiction networking professionals is one that Robin is saying that parents and people who talk to parents, you know, utilize. Do y'all know any others?
I'm not sure if parents go on there. It's more for people like
Who
us
talk to parents, yeah.
who talk to each other, and we can explain our services so that they can get referrals.
Do any
You
of
know,
y'all
and-
know of sites where parents?
There are
Go ahead.
there are tons and tons of groups on Facebook. I mean, that's the new way to network, is groups on Facebook. So like we have here in Vegas alone, like, I mean, a plethora of different, I couldn't tell you exactly what the names are but they're in every state, you know, in every city. You can go on Facebook and search those groups. And I think it's important to know, like, that's where community collaboration comes in as well. So like when in utilizing their network of people that they have based on their social media presence. So when you partner up on Facebook with somebody, or you reach out to a community partner and ask them if you can join their group, or you know, so that way you can you know, post on their page, but also to share the content that's on your page. So there's a lot of sharing and liking and making a presence in each other's groups, so you're utilizing each other's networks. So but when you have an event or you co-host an event with somebody, so like we recently co-hosted a leadership training with Communities Project with Foundation for Recovery. So when we were doing that, we not only were able to utilize their huge database, but they were able to utilize ours. So we partnered that way. And then through that partnership, the people that didn't really know about us got to know about us, asked us questions, started telling their friends. Like, it's just this kind of domino effect that happens by making yourself present and partnerships, just like you would, you know, network in person. You just network on social media.
All right.
So
Y'all have probably already thought of this, but I have something to share with you that you've heard me say over and over again. If this is a disease, the goal is to get 10 out of 10 well. And until you get 10 out of 10 well, we're either not doing something we should or doing something we shouldn't, or both, probably. Well, a thing that we need to change, in my opinion, in the overall model. You've heard me talk about parent steering committees or family steering committees, those kind of things. And I don't know that y'all may be doing this, but if you're not, one of the things that I'm going to suggest is, as you are assigning different tasks to families, members of the family steering committee, what makes sense to me, because what I'm hearing from you is, and I knew this already actually, but what I hear in this and what we're talking about is massive amounts of time could be spent doing this. Massive amounts, all right? Which is nothing new. We always, before the technology, give you a little history, it took massive amounts of time going to different churches and talking about the program, going to different therapists, going, you know, we did it, but we didn't have the benefit of the mass approach. So, and you couldn't ask a family member on steering committee to go do all of those millions of appointments, okay? But I think what you need to do, or consider anyway, an idea is somebody on your family steering committee and possibly on the group committee too, assigning them, hey, help with the social media thing. And I think that might be a real effective thing to do to get the word out on what you're doing and how it works, et cetera. Who knows what could grow out of that? But it was just a thought that crossed my mind that it pairs up with what we've talked about in the steering committee stuff. If I'm planning on talking with Rip and some folks in the family group with Lifeway, see if we can find somebody that has a good feel for all of this and talk to them about, their time helping us do some of this. I'd love to hear some feedback on that idea.
I think it's a good idea. If you have family members that are younger, especially like the siblings, because the older ones may not know how to use it. But I think I really like, Kaylin, I love your presence on Facebook and social media, because the goal of the APG is to show how fun it is, and that's what we're trying to do on social media, is get out not only break the stigma, but show how we do recover, and then coordinate that with other people so they refer to us, that's just one method though. But yeah, I think families are a big deal. We used to take them with us on our appointments in the community.
Yeah.
So why not, see if they want to volunteer for a month to do social media blasts or whatever.
Any other
I
feedback?
think it's
Go ahead.
sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting everybody all the time. I'm like super excited to talk about this for some reason.
You're not.
But I think that it's important, like, obviously we want to target the families, right? Like, the families are the ones that are going to bring their kids in here. But you would be very surprised what happens with our kids when they start posting, and sharing our social media stuff. We get more feedback and more interest when a kid is like, oh, what are they doing over there? Like, it sparks interest. And so when we get the kids involved, when they make videos, like Nancy was talking about, we have a specific social media waiver that the parent and the kid signs when they come in, and they can revoke it at any time. They can opt out no. But because social media is so big, our kids love to do it. So like TikTok videos and videos at equine therapy and all this thing. And it actually raises a lot of interest in the community because the kids start to share it.
Well, and that gets us into, they like it, they love doing it, and so steering committee position at both steering committees, possibly something like that, or a topic at steering committee, in addition to social functions. What about social media? What do we need to do? Who can do that? Who can help with that, et cetera, et cetera. And I am right now going to suggest to our facilitator that we need to do these things. Get yet again more work. All right, real quickly, let me go over it and kind of touch on some of the things we've gone through. We want awareness at a broader space. Instagram, millennials and younger. We got hashtags and Instagram and memes, all different venues and have different audiences, etc. One of the things that I wanted to put into this that we hadn't talked about is what we do. We have the association. I don't know, and I'm kind of looking for some feedback. It seems like if we created some overall, how do I say this, where we're really supporting each other in this process, it could get to be a major awareness event. We have like 40 members around the country. And if there was a coordination of 40 members in the, I'm not telling you, it seems to me if 40 members were coordinating some of their efforts in this, in the social media space, that would create a hubbub. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're totally right. I think the more engaged and supportive that we are on social media, sharing each other's stuff, doing a shout out, like featuring another APG partner. Like there's so many different avenues. And then also too, like Hannah had mentioned yesterday, if we each did a social media takeover, right? So one of the APGs across the nation could take over AAPG's site, the national site, for a week and post, you know, and make an effort, right? Where the kids put in some time to think of a strategy on what they want to do. You could think of a theme. You could run it with whatever theme's going on, if it's around mental health or overdose awareness or whatever. I mean, there's so many creative ways to manage that stuff.
I really like that idea because I know the AAPG isn't going to hire a social media person to manage that. So having each organization like take it over for a week and really highlight their community would benefit both, you know.
Actually, we are, one of the things that went on the board meeting yesterday is talked about we're about at that point that we can go ahead and start yearly fees, yearly, and they're not large, they're not big, they're not thousands of dollars or anything like that, but yearly fees. But if we do this right, we might be able to create enough capital to be able to actually move some of these things and actually have somebody that we work with, because it sounds like it would be something that the board would be interested in, at least in, you know, investigating and everything. It could make a lot of difference to the membership as a whole if we could figure out a way to pull this off, I would think.
It would seem like you would need like one board member just to say like, okay, just to coordinate, like, okay, now it's Vegas's week, next week's gonna be Oregon's week or whatever, just so that people know in advance and can kind of.
Hannah, you know, Hannah's in charge of the Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
the Facebook committee, so she might be able to coordinate this pass around thing. But it just seems like we were talking about, and I'm going to have to go here in a second. We were talking about this year and the conference. Y'all don't know this, but in the past, there were national conferences and there was staff there from all over the country, but also there were families there. There were membership there. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of people all gathering in St. Louis or Houston or different places at different times for these big national conferences. And for the families and the young and the recovering people, they were awesome. It was an event that absolutely was mind-blowing. Another old timer was in the meeting yesterday, and he said defining moments of his life happened at those things. Well, because of the social media side of things, we're at a point where we could do some very similar things for the next conference. And instead of it just being staff that goes to the ARHE APG National Conference, we can also create a place for families and for, you know, the people in recovery, the people that are using. So, and that gets us back to, okay, well, if you combine that with social media, a social media push, whoa, it could be really, really something. And the kinds of things that could come out of that kind of coordination and that kind of gathering are actually mind-blowing. They really are. Again, a great day, you guys. My favorite time of the week. That's no kidding. I just love doing it. Thank y'all for putting up with an old guy and helping and those kind of things. And I will see you next week. I'll get this out and I will see you guys next week. Any last minute things that need to be said? Anybody? We got a couple minutes. We got 1 minute.
Anyone have a good idea for like a group name for teenagers in an initial APG model that's trying to expand not just to substance use issues, but also mental health?
When we did a little focus group study, the word connections was the most well-liked, or connected connections was the most well-liked among transition-aged youth. So
good to know. Well, we're already called Connections Wellness Group, so
Ooh.
maybe we can mess with that.
Connected, baby. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. See you next week. Y'all have a good week. Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.